The grizzled brown-haired man. What is the grizzled brown-haired man archetype? If your game involves a male lead and a gun, then more often than not, it is the character you're playing. He's tall, with brown hair, and an intense look. His mind is sharp, his morals are mixed, he's seen battle and survived. And if religion comes into play, he's going to be Christian. Literally, hundreds of video games use the same features for their in-game protagonists, in almost identical poses. This trend is so pervasive that it is hard to identify a modern game that uses a different male archetype. Conversely, female characters may adhere to a specific body weight, but often are developed with different hairstyles, fashions, and faces. When considering how gender is read and understood within a culture, we look to authors such as Sandra Bartke to draw attention to the notion that a male body is more of a functional tool, where a female body is understood as a site of work. Bartke reminds us, a woman's face must be made up, that is to say, made over, and so must her body. Her lips must be made more kissable, her complexion dewier, her eyes more mysterious. Soap and water, a shave, a routine attention to hygiene may be enough for him, but for her, they are not. Given the social position of male and female bodies, it could be argued that the reason for the repetition of the grizzled brown-haired man archetype is because of the social position of the male body in general. Who the male character is in a video game is of no consequence because no one is really looking at him. He is simply a blank vessel for the player to insert himself into. Or inconsequential because the focus is on the consumption and objectification of female counterparts within the game. Wolf further suggests, women's bodies are portrayed as attractive packaging around an empty box. Our genitals are not eroticized for women. Men's bodies are not eroticized for women. Each woman has to learn for herself from nowhere how to feel sexual, though she learns constantly how to look sexual. She must absorb the dominant culture's fantasies as her own. Reflecting back on the quotes, what little girls learn is not the desire for the other, but the desire to be desired. Bartke and Wolf both illustrate that women's position is to be consumed or viewed by a third party. Her body, face, look is of consequence and for consumption, whereas conversely, the male body is deemed generic, not in need of work or interest. So what does this mean as a designer? Society says a female character must be an object of desire without her own desires, but you are under no such obligation. And a male character's urge to be desired is both a human and unexplored area of interest. So as a designer, maybe you should be the first one to put that into a video game. The Fine Young Capitalists are a group of professionals that are dedicated to making stuff to make the world a more interesting place. So sign up at thefineyoungcapitalist.com and get involved.